Our founder, Steve Clark, who was a Suffolk County police officer and a Command Master Chief in the United States Navy, realized there was a need that we as a nation, state, and a community were failing to do for our veterans. Instead of pointing fingers, Steve created 911 Veterans and the mission statement of the communities taking ownership of their veterans. So in a classroom in the West Hampton Academy, Steve began to pass a coffee can and sell t-shirts to raise money to help veterans here on Long Island. He forged a relationship with the Northport VA so that we could find the veterans in our communities that needed our help. It is important to us that we keep this organization as pure as Steve intended. We continue to have an all-volunteer team, and thanks to NBTY Helping Hands generosity, close to 100% of all monies raised will go to a Long Island veteran.
Nearly $94,000 of your money that you helped raise went to supporting Long Island's veterans. At this time, I would like to recognize a certain amount of donors who made presentations throughout the year. So can I please welcome the ISOP Chamber of Commerce, please. Through their Taste of the South Shore event held last year, the ISOP Chamber of Commerce was able to present us with a check for $2,000, which we put to use in supporting Long Island veterans. Thank you. Next, I would like to invite Phil Tropio, who's the captain of Suffolk's Boulders hockey team, up to the front, please.
I'm so happy that my team is a part of this. I just want to say thank you to Chris Delaney, and I know it's bigger than just one man, but this is incredible. So thank you, Chris, and the whole 911 Veterans Association for letting us be a part of this. Back in September, we had a charity hockey game. We were able to raise some money. With that being said, I'd like to present a check for $5,000 on behalf of Boulders Hockey for the 911 Veterans Organization.
We'd be remiss if we did not welcome our corporate sponsors up to the front from NBTY Helping Hands. Please come to the front of the room. On behalf of the board of 911 veterans, we'd like to present them with a plaque. Without their corporate sponsorship, it would be that much more difficult for us to do our job. And to be able to tell you that nearly 100% of your donation goes through to help a veteran. It is through their support that we were able to accomplish this goal. And yet again is another example of the community taking ownership of their veterans. So in recognition of your generous financial support and with your cooperation, 911 veterans can continue to provide support and assistance to our Long Island veterans. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I think it's been 6 or 7 years now that we've worked together, and we really appreciate this recognition, but the recognition should go to everyone here for all your tireless efforts for our veterans. Every year you accomplish your mission. It keeps getting bigger and bigger. The cause gets bigger and bigger, and we're just privileged to be able to help in any way we can. Thank you very much.
So every once in a while, somebody comes along that commands a little special recognition, and this year we want to do something different. I'm sure many of you know him and will agree that he's someone who's as patriotic, proud, and supportive of our veterans community as they come. I know this is going to be a surprise, but Jack Fenich, would you guys come on up? Your mom and dad? We have a plaque and something for you.
Well, I know we're all here to support our community's veterans. Two of the reasons that we're all here in attendance is to recognize our Civilian of the Year and our Veteran of the Year. Our Civilian of the Year is a remarkable woman whose efforts in the veteran community just about covers everything several people could do, let alone one person. The Civilian of the Year is not only a member of the Patriot Guard Riders, but a ride captain with the PGR, and in this role, she is the lead contact person for PGR missions on Long Island, which frequently involve welcome gathering for returning veterans and their families, and unfortunately, all too often, these missions provide support and escort services for deceased veterans as well. As an associate member of the Blue Star Moms New York 6, our Civilian of the Year has assisted in their fundraising activities to support their children who are deployed in theater. She has supported Gold Star Mom Doreen Kenny's Jacob Light Foundation, where she helped Doreen provide over 600,000 comfort packages to troops deployed throughout the world. Our Civilian of the Year, along with her husband, volunteered at these packouts and assisted in picking up supplies as well. Our Civilian of the Year has recently embarked on a new endeavor, sparked from a conversation that she happened to have with Doreen Kenny. In order to support the veterans attending the Joseph P. Dwyer peer-to-peer support meetings, Meals of Honor provide home-cooked meals made with love. Meals of Honor are yet another fine example of the community taking ownership of their veterans and making them aware of how much their service and sacrifice is appreciated. Meals of Honor started in 2 locations and has now grown to 4. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing our Civilian of the Year, Karen Wirth. Now, our Veteran of the Year is another phenomenal example of our Vietnam-era veterans stepping up to make sure our current veterans are properly cared for and embraced in a way that those from his time of service were not. This veteran enlisted in the U.S. Navy in 1966 as a Seabee and deployed to Da Nang, South Vietnam in 1967, where he served with the Mobile Construction Battalion, MCB-7. There he built butler and Quonset huts that later served as hospitals. During his so-called downtime, this veteran would frequently go out on patrols with the Marines stationed there. And this is his rationale for why he did this, not mine. I wanted to make sure the Marines didn't get lost. You can take that up with him afterwards. Upon completing his overseas tour, our veteran returned to his home base in Davisville, Rhode Island, where he completed his enlistment. Our Veteran of the Year is the man that Karen chased until he caught her some 48 years ago. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Delaney's favorite Seabee, Ken Wirth.
I'm going to have to change what I was going to say because it was a complete surprise that my husband is up here with me. So, let me paraphrase. Thank you so much for this award. This is one of the proudest moments of our lives. What we do is done with gratitude and respect to all our veterans and the men and the women who are currently serving. It is also done with love and gratitude to all the Gold Star families who know what sacrifice and loss truly is. I love you all. Thank you.